And we are starting off with updates from the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Foreign Ministers meeting in Tashkent. WION's Anas Malik has spoken exclusively to Pakistan's Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari in Tashkent about engagements at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting, relations with India, and Pakistan's economic and political turmoil. Listen in now to this exclusive interview.
You've been here at the SCO. Previously, you hosted the SCO Secretary General as well. You had 7 bilateral meetings, quite of a hectic visit. How would you like to sum up this visit and the engagement that you've had?
I think it's been an incredibly important visit for us. As you know, we're a part of the SCO family, and this is the first time that we managed to meet in person following the COVID pandemic in preparation for our summit in September. It has been an incredibly productive meeting, productive experience, not only within the SCO context. We had got a whole lot of work done, signed countless agreements today, a lot to do with preparation for our summit, but also our bilateral meetings. Where I engaged with the foreign ministers of the Central Asian countries, with the foreign minister of China. We had yet again, I think, our third bilateral meeting, second in person so far. I also got the chance to briefly interact with the Russian foreign minister on the sidelines. I think overall it's been an incredibly productive visit.
You've been here at the SCO. SCO is a platform to engage, right? And this is a precursor event to the September meeting. Do you see that in September there's a potential of the Pakistani and Indian prime ministers meeting through this platform?
No such plan exists at the moment.
And did you happen to have met your Indian counterpart over here? Because you were the elephant in the room.
Was I the elephant in the room?
The two of you.
The two of us were the elephant in the room. Well, we're both, Pakistan and India, are members of the SCO family. And in that context, we engaged in the broader activities of the SCO and the Council of Foreign Ministers, but we didn't have any bilateral engagements.
Speaking of India, because it's something that is very persistent, is there any level of engagement that is there, be that be back channel, business, track 2, or in your opinion, how do you see the issues being India and Pakistan being resolved as the foreign minister?
Well, India is our neighbor, and you can choose a lot of things in life, but you can't choose your neighbors. So we have to get used to living with one another. Unfortunately, the events of August 2019, the subsequent Eliminations Commission, and the most recent Islamophobic statements by officials of the ruling party obviously makes it incredibly difficult for us to engage constructively.
Former Prime Minister Imran Khan, slightly different. Former Prime Minister Imran Khan has been criticizing the coalition government, saying that it is lackey in terms of when it comes to America vis-a-vis foreign policy. How do you see that? How do you make of that statement?
I think that there's no substance to those claims. I mean, Pakistan's foreign policy is one of engagement, and we engage with all countries. We're looking to find economic opportunities for our people, enhancing economic cooperation with all countries in the East and in the West. And obviously, we've engaged with America as well. But Mr. Khan attempted the same thing while he was in power. He attempted to engage all countries, including America. It's not our fault that he was unsuccessful.
The coalition government recently saw that it faced a hefty defeat in Punjab, and the country's economy has been at a downhill since the shocker of a defeat in Punjab. Now, you hold a very important portfolio when it comes to foreign policy. So how do you plan on connecting that, the economic policy, economic diplomacy with the foreign policy domain, number one? And how do you plan on uplifting the government or the coalition government following this hefty defeat in Punjab?
Well, as far as the situation in Punjab is concerned, of the 20 seats that were out for by-election, all 20 seats of which belonged to an opposition political party, the government ally Muslim League Nawaz managed to gain 5 of those 20 seats. So the opposition lost 5 seats, but I understand that there's political turbulence back home. Everybody is aware of that. We are, as far as the economic situation is concerned, every Pakistani knows that this economic the economic challenge challenges that we are facing were not those that have developed over the past 3 months. And it's over the past 4 years where Mr. Khan's government increased Pakistan's debt, collected the most debt in the history of Pakistan. In fact, from 2018 to 2022, the amount of debt that Mr. Khan's government accumulated for Pakistan is equivalent to all the debt of Pakistan's history from 1947 to 2018. So no one believes that that economic catastrophe can be addressed in 3 months. But as far as the foreign policy aspect is concerned, I'm trying my best and our team members are trying their best to address the multifaceted challenges that we face.
And with me on the broadcast this minute is Anas Malik, who got us that exclusive conversation with the Pakistan minister. Anas, you've been tracking those developments through the day, and now through that interaction that you had with Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, what is the impression that you got? And give us a sense of what you made of those statements that he made.
Well, last question first. The statements were very measured. I've been covering the Pakistani Foreign Office and diplomacy for a good 7 years, and this is the 5th minister in office that I have been seeing. And prima facie, there is much more clarity of thought. It's more articulated, and there are no riddles, contrary to what we have seen in the past, without naming any foreign minister. So clearly there is clarity. But with regards to engagement, there seems to be some you would say pushbacks, because of course what we understand is that engagement with India comes with the idea that all of the stakeholders in Pakistan have to be taken on board. But with vis-a-vis the multilateral fora, at least here in Tashkent, this hall behind me, the City Congress Hall, this is where we saw almost all of the meetings happening. It was a packed day today, and he had been here for the past almost about a day, almost 2 days. I've seen him up close and been covering his meetings, been covering the event. One thing that is there is the fact that the clarity in thought, that is something that is transpiring, at least prima facie on paper. There can be a policy shift that can be seen as well, because previously we had been seeing that his party's policy vis-a-vis Afghanistan was different. But of course things change when they come into power. But coming back to the main question, that was India's engagement, I believe that his answer was very well and very carefully drafted, where he said that they would want to engage and that they cannot particularly choose any neighbor. Molly?
Anas Malik getting us those updates from Tashkent. Thanks very much for now, leaving it there. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.